Now it's time to introduce our second keynote speaker for the afternoon, Philip Hinton. Philip is currently a meter reader at Citizens and has been with the company for 1 year. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps and was a Lance Corporal with the 15th Marine Expeditionary Unit, 1st Marines, 3rd Battalion, Lima Company. He was involved with Operation Restore Hope in Somalia in the capital city of Mogadishu. While in Somalia, Philip was wounded in battle. When he completed his 4 years with the Marines, he was a sergeant. However, in 2007, Philip went back and served 1 more year in Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Philip Hinton to the podium.
Testing. Bear with me, I'm kind of nervous. So I would like to thank everybody here for coming out today and honoring this day. I also like to give a special thanks out to Ms. Tamiko Leslie. She is the one who gave my name to someone who suggested this idea, and I feel very honored to be here to speak today. Now, the first thing I want to do is explain to let everyone know. I know everyone's looking at me like, why does he wear a patch? Or when I'm walking around, people are like, why do you wear a patch? Well, I'm going to just tell you how that happened. But before I do that, I want to just give you a basic background on what motivated me to be a Marine or join the Marine Corps. Actually, it was a football coach, college coach. He played professional football for the Bears. I don't know if you heard him. Leslie Frazier, anyone ever heard of him? He played for the Bears, and he also coached with the Vikings. And I went to a graduation, and the school I went to, I was on a scholarship playing football, and a lot of the kids their parents were well off, and asked a couple of them, like, what are you going to do after you graduate? I'm like, well, the job market is crazy right now. I'm going to work at McDonald's, or I'm going to go back home and live with my parents. I'm like, really? So I went to Coach Frazier, and just so happens Mike Singletary was in his office, and they were watching the game tape, and Mike was watching. He saw a couple plays I was making. He's like, hey man, you're just a freshman, man. You're just keep doing what you're doing. You know you can go to the next level. But he said, do you have a fallback plan? I'm like, what's that? He's like, well, you might blow out your knee tomorrow. You might not make it to the NFL. So I started thinking about that. And then when I went to graduation, I'm like, I don't want to be stuck here. I want to go back to my parents' house. I'm a grown man now. So talking to Coach Frazier, he told me, maybe you might want to join the service. You can still play ball if you want to. So I went to go see a recruiter, and like all of you, a recruiter made it sound so glamorous. You're gonna be able to do this, you're gonna be able to do that. Don't worry about this and then. So I made that decision. I went to boot camp over at MCRD San Diego, and I'm telling you, that was a rude awakening. Everything was done at times 10. It didn't matter if it was raining or snowing, or it was early morning or late night. You had to do it at a fast pace. So, but I'm glad I did that, because it made me a better person, and it made me it turned me into a man, really. So I graduated boot camp, and I go to my MCT. It's called Military Combat Training. And for you reservists out there, reservists got pretty much the bad raw deal when we was in boot camp. DIs picked on reservists all the time. You're a reservist, you're a weekend warrior. And I was like, wow, I'm not a reservist, because they're messing with everybody. But when you got to MCT, the reservist was like, well, I get to go home. You got to stay here and dig in this dirt some more. So I kind of wish I was a reservist, but I went to, my school was SOI, School of Infantry in Camp Pendleton. And eventually I got done with that, and I went to the 15th Marines. And here I am, 17, 18-year-old, full of life. I'm this big bad Marine, nothing can touch me. And it was like everybody else was going on weekend liberties, and they're down in San Diego and Oceanside and partying and kicking it in Tijuana. And I'm like, well, we always had to train every day, train. I'm like, Gunny, why are we doing this every day? He's like, first of all, Hinton, that ain't in your pay grade to be asking that kind of questions. But he said, watch, one day you're gonna see that all this training you're doing is gonna save your life one day. He said, you're gonna get this and you're gonna know this, so when it happens, you're gonna know what to do without even thinking about it. I'm like, you're right. So one day we get the call. We all go to get on the USS Tripoli and say we're heading to dangerous waters. We're going over to Somalia, Mogadishu. So we get a briefing, and I'm talking about, they tell us this is the worst place that anybody wants to be. We're going over there to try to help these people that were starving. So I'm like, okay, how bad could that be? So we're getting ready to make this landing. It's like right before the sun comes up, it's still dark outside, and it's a bunch of us. I'm talking about thousands of us. We're on amphibious boats, assault vehicles, on water, going to the beach. So here I am thinking, okay, I'm locked and copped, I'm ready. So here we go. We're gonna take this beach. We get to the beach, and we're supposed to be quiet. We're supposed to slide up on the beach. No one supposed to know we're there. We was going to take over it was an abandoned airport hangar that they wanted us to commandeer. We were gonna make that our base. And so we can fortify that, and so we can get our landing, planes, supplies, munitions, whatever. We can come right there without going to the heart of the city. So my first encounter, I'm all wet, I'm on the beach, I'm laying down in prone position, and all of a sudden I see all these lights. It's CNN, it's C-SPAN. Wait a minute, this is supposed to be a secret. It was hundreds of them. And I'm expecting, there's gonna be some fighting going on, it's gonna be shooting, and it's the news. I'm like, really? Okay, this is okay. So, and they're going around, they're asking us questions. I'm laying in the dirt with my M16 cocked and ready. And it's like, well, how do you feel? I'm like, what do you mean, how do I feel? You go somewhere. So, eventually they leave, and we get there, and I'm telling you, this country it was devastation. I've never seen so much hardship in my life. You had bodies of little children in piles being starved to death, and I'm just like, it just touched me. Who would let this go on like this? So we started bringing in food from everywhere, food, and we would feed them, and they were so happy to see us. And I was thinking back, like, in the Marine Corps, you get 3 meals, three hots and a cot, and good stuff, good food. So we had to start learning how to eat MREs. MREs are meals ready to eat. Come in a little brown bag, you can stuff in your pocket, and that was your food for the day. And I used to think, I hate these things. I wish I could just go back and get on a boat and have a nice meal in the mess hall, and you got condiments and what have you. But to see that famine, to see that, it really touched me. And I'm like, I'm gonna do what I can while I'm here to help these people. Sometimes I'm doing patrols, I would reach in my pocket, I would save a little bag of M&Ms and give them to some of the kids that would come up to us. Didn't know what they were saying about it, they were hungry. And it was a devastating sight. And when I got to that country, it was like, I think it was some kind of civil war going on with the warlords there. And make a long story short, it was in that city had a gun, had a weapon. It didn't matter how old they were. They could walk and breathe, and they were male, they had a weapon. some of the weapons were bigger than them. You're talking about 12-year-olds walking around with chains of rounds and AK-47s. And I felt kind of bad, like, this is still a child, but that child is trying to kill me. He's trying to kill my unit, so he's no longer a child in my eyes, he's an enemy combatant. And it took me a while to get that, because I needed to get home to my family, and we had a job to do. So this went on for a while, and eventually, it's like almost overnight, the Somalis, they changed. They changed. They didn't want us there. Even though we were help feeding them, they didn't want us there. So we get to some of the small little outskirts of town. It's near the Bakara market, and if anyone ever heard about the Bakara market, but if it went boom, they had it. They had it. I mean, from grenades to AK-47s to MPSs, MP5s, AKSs, they had it. It went boom, they had it. I'm thinking to myself, if this country is so poor, they can't feed themselves, how are they getting all these weapons? The food they were taking from us. So we got orders to guard these trucks, get them to where they need to go at all costs. So we're doing patrols, and we're taking a truck to some location to drop it off. And Watkins, Foote, Grady, Serrano, and Everhart, and myself. We're doing a regular patrol now. And in Mogadishu, you know, you're talking about, you got burnt out cars, it's trash everywhere. The streets are made of dirt, mud, what have you. So, you know, you couldn't just go here and there and then thinking, you know, here we are, there's no street signs. You gotta try to remember everything by memory. And the little GPS that we did have. So we were just normal patrol, getting the food to his location. And all of a sudden you drive about 20 seconds and you take this corner, and now you see this mass people just coming at you with guns, with AK-47s, mounted 50 cal on trucks coming towards us. We don't have anywhere to go. We don't know where to go. There's no side street to take. So there's a building, and then they start shooting rounds. Right here, you hear bullets just, and these rounds they weren't well placed. They're like the guy would just stick his gun out and just, so the rounds was going anywhere. There was no aim round towards it. It was just coming at you. So we get into this building, and we're taking cover fire. We're giving out the cover fire. We're trying to, you know, get on comms and get some support. And we're sitting there trying to figure out what to do. And all of a sudden, I see this grenade come in. And Watkins, I mean, it lands right next to Watkins, like 6 inches from him. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, this is not good. And most grenades, you have about 5 seconds before it detonates. I'm thinking, this is not going to go good. So I dive for cover. I'm like, this is not going to go good for Watkins. And all of a sudden, boom, all you see is this smoke, and you see all this dust everywhere. So I start calling out names. Grady, I'm okay. Foote, here. No, Serrano, I'm okay. Watkins, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. And he said, Watkins? Yeah, dude. And I was like, what? Are you okay? And like, if you know anything about grenades, the fortunate part of grenades is the grenades, they go up and blow out. And it was so close to us, it just blew over us. No one got hit by the grenade. But when the smoke cleared, there was a Somali with a gun at the top of the stairs. And Watkins just looks at me like, hey, Hinton, shoot him! I mean, so he shot him, and we're taking, all you hear is tink, 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 bullets just hitting the building, going inside and hitting into the windows. So we start returning fire. So every now and again, it will be somebody behind us upstairs, like, where are these people coming from? So we go upstairs, and what they're doing is they're jumping from across the adjacent building onto the roof and coming through the window down that building to ambush us. I'm like, if this continues, they're going to kill all of us. So Everhard gives an order for me and Watkins to go upstairs and provide a perimeter to keep people from coming downstairs. So we get upstairs and we're shooting. I mean, bullets are flying everywhere. I believe the comms guy was Grady. He's calling in comms, and I mean, boom, 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 boom. I'm checking magazines after magazines. I'm just letting rounds off, trying to stay alive. And my gun jammed. So I reach down to change my magazine, and as I'm coming back up, boom. The next thing I know, I wake up, and I'm on a helicopter going back to wherever. I had been shot in the eye, and when I came to, I remember feeling my face, and both my eyes were bandaged, and I could feel the wetness. I guess it was blood or sweat. It was a lot of it on my face, and I was pretty calm at the time. And for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if I was at the base yet, or I was actually getting off the helo. But it was a female corpsman, and she had the smoothest voice, and she had calmed my nerves because I was hysterical. I didn't know what had happened. I knew I was injured, and she was comforting me. She was telling me it's gonna be okay. You know, you're gonna be all right. But she did make a mistake. She took the bandage off, and I still couldn't see anything. And I remember her saying this. She was like, "Oh my God, it's still in there." And she was talking about the round, part of the round was in my eye. She could actually see it. And I'm telling you, the pain just increased by 1,000. It increased by, it pretty much scared me. So when I got back to the MOC, we call it the MOC, to the airport, and got to the hospital, the first doctor to see me was Dr. Edwards. He wasn't an eye doctor. I think he was some knee specialist or whatever. And I know it's kind of funny. So, and they set me in a chair, and I couldn't sit still. I'm like, what? I think I was dehydrated, and I was scared, and I couldn't sit still. I wanted to move, and I'm trying to feel my face, and I can't. My face is numb. I can't feel anything, and it just freaked me out. And I started to throw up, right there, throwing up. And I remember what I ate. I had chicken a la king. And I've never tried chicken a la king since then. It's just something about chicken a la king. I can't touch that. So, but I remember that MRE with the chicken a la king, and they finally got me back to the U.S. AAA. They had me see some, I guess it was an eye doctor there, and eventually they sent me back to Camp Pendleton Naval Hospital. And I have a photo here. You guys want to come up? It's a picture of me and Watkins. Watkins had got shot in the throat. So the picture of me shot in the eye, and he was shot in the throat. And it's a picture of us at I think it's like three and a half, maybe 4 weeks after the incident. And I'm back in the U.S. And this nurse right here, she took really good care of me. She woke me up every hour on the hour to put something. She had to stick a needle in my eye to drain the fluid or what have you, but every hour on the hour. So she was diligent about it. Anyway, that is what happened to me over in Somalia. And during that time, at a young age, I realized what it is to be a veteran, what it's like to be a Marine. And people just use that word, oh, you're a veteran or whatever, you're an idiot for going over there, you're an idiot for doing this. But I'm telling you, you guys know this. There's nothing more greater than the heart of a volunteer. And putting your life on the line to protect someone else, it has to be the most courageous thing you can do. Because when it's all said and done, it's about the sense of duty and that man next to you. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter where you come from. You're all my brothers and my sisters. And that should mean something to you. It means something to me. If you're a veteran and you serve, you're my brother. If you need this, need that, hey, if I got it, you got it. And I wish the whole world felt that way. Maybe we wouldn't have so much turmoil and conflict if everybody felt that togetherness. it's so surreal, and it can't be taught. I think you have to experience it and be with that man and ask that man to guard you or watch over you while you're sleeping. Because that's what you do when you're asleep. That fire watch is watching over you, making sure nothing happens to you tonight, not on my watch. And that takes a lot of a person to do that. I don't know you. I know we wear the same uniform, we're from the same country, and we're here to do something that's beyond comprehension. So that's my take on being a veteran. It's very important to me, and also it translates over to my everyday life. Because the way I look at it, I shouldn't be here. If I had been looking up when that round came down, it would hit me flush in my face. Probably took my whole head off. But I had my head down, and the bullet hit the Kevlar, and then went into the eye. So people asking me, Phil, why you act that way? Why you do this? Why you so this? Man, I'm living on borrowed time. I shouldn't be here. And I'm grateful to be here. And you guys just don't know, what I've gone through, what I've been through. And I take that and I live life. I live life. As a matter of fact, a year ago today, to this day, I got into a motorcycle accident. Coming from here, going to get my motorcycle. It was a nice day. And I tore my knee up. Guy hit me head on, knocked me unconscious. And if it wasn't for my helmet, I wouldn't be here. A year ago today, I'm here again because he wants me here, I guess. For some reason, he wants me here. So there's another lesson in life. And I take these lessons and I try to live my life the best way I can. I'm not perfect, but I take these lessons and I apply them to anything I do. Work. People ask me, why you work 2 jobs? Man, shoot, I'm used to 16-hour days, buddy. While you sleep, I'm still out here making some money or doing something positive or doing something productive. And that's how I look at life. But I want to thank you guys for allowing me to share and answer your question. If you saw me, like, why does he wear the patch? Now you know why I wear the patch. So I want to thank Citizens for allowing me to do this. And God bless you all, and have a good day.